Welcome to Mitanni TV. Today I have a guest with Mr. Salih Muslim. He is Kurdish leader, good father, worker for Kurdistan, actually for Rojava part. Today is very important for me because he's with Kurdish father. He's lost his son with Rojava, with attack with ISIS. That's why, as I am very respect, like father, like Kurdish leader. Welcome to Mr. Salih Muslim.
Well, my greetings to all your watchers and listeners. Thank you very much for receiving me in your program.
Kek Salih, Turkish government 24 hours attacked again the Kurdish, the part of Kurdistan, 4 parts of Kurdistan. How you think can stop Turkish attack?
I think the policies of the Turkish government depends on the Kurdish people. They shouldn't exist. Since 1923, when they established the Republic of Turkey, they were depending on the Kurdish. They should be finished. And since then, they are in the war against the Kurds, not only in Turkey, but also in the 4 parts of Kurdistan. And they don't accept any Kurdish existence in anywhere, not only on Rojava, but also in the eastern Kurdistan, southern Kurdistan, in northern Kurdistan. Because of that, I think, especially for this fascism who is governing the Turkish government since 2002, till now they never stopped the war against the Kurdish people. And the conflict of Syria was a kind of opportunity for them to extend their attacks on the Kurdish people. And since 2010 till now, they never stopped the war against the Kurdish people in different ways. I mean, maybe sometimes they do this war, they do it politically, diplomatically, and sometimes it's a war by weapons. They have attacked invasion in Afrin, in Giresupi, in Serikani, so in different ways, but they are in the war, in struggle against the Kurdish people because they don't accept the existence of the Kurdish people, the Kurdish nation. They shouldn't be. So this is their policies. And now, as you can follow, maybe they are in complete war in Rojava. Also, they are occupying a part of Rojava, which is Afrin, and also occupying Giresupi, occupying Serikani, and they are in daily attacks in southern Kurdistan, in the villages, in the civilians. In the same way, inside Turkey, in the Kurdish areas, in Kurdistan, North Kurdistan, they never stopped the war against the Kurdish people. So this is their policies, actually, and we should know that very well. I think maybe for the other nations and United Nations and even the governing powers in the world, United States, Russia, and even European Union, everybody is keeping silent, maybe in some kind of consensus with the Turkish government to do these attacks. So, and sometimes maybe they are using the blackmailing against Europe and the European Union to stop them, to keep them silent. So they are doing different ways for everybody. At the end, I mean, as a result, they are implementing their policies against the Kurds, and all the world is keeping silent. So this is the way they are doing it.
Now is your diplomacy with Europe and the United States and Russia. How's going? How's Russian, United States, Europe, how you think about Turkish government attack, how about Syria government and Iran, how Russian and United States, what say about Rojava?
Well, now we can find in Syria, in all these powers you have mentioned, they are on the ground in Syria. We have the coalition, international coalition, which the United States is part of them. We have Russian soldiers, we have Iranians, we have Turkish, everybody on the ground in Syria. And of course, as a reality, we have to deal with these powers also. At the end, I mean, all these powers, even United States and Russia, they are looking for their interests, for their benefits. If they are in Syria, they are looking for their interest in Syria. The same for the Russians and for the United States. And also, we are as Syrian people, as the Kurdish people, and the components of north of east of Syria, I mean the Arabs, the Kurds, the Syrians. Also, we are trying to find our way, I mean, with relations with those powers according to our interests with them. For example, I mean, for the international coalition, we fought with the international coalition maybe for 5 years. We were fighting in the same front against Daesh. Starting from Kobani till now, we are in the same front. Just because not is an order from them or not we are obeying them, just because we have the mutual interest in this one. Of course, we would like to get rid of Daesh, those jihadist groups and those terrorists, and the United States and the international coalition also are fighting, so we are in the same trench against them. And we were doing it in very well, good mode for 5 years. We have liberated many areas, we are still fighting against them. We have now sleeping cells, so we are trying to get rid of them. We have joint operations against them in Deir ez-Zor in some areas. So this is the way we are dealing with them. Also the Russians, we are dealing with them also. But the Russians, maybe they came in to Syria to protect the regime forces, and they are supporting the regime. What we are dealing with them, we are trying to find some solutions with the Damascus government, the regime, because we need, some reforms and maybe some new constitution, and so the political solution, and the Russia can do it. We are, of course, we are dealing with them to make some pressure on the Syrian regime. For the European, of course, we would like to introduce ourselves, especially we have established a very democratic system, which is the new thing in Rojava, in the Middle East. It could be model even for the solution of political solution in Syria, and it's the first model in the Middle East. To have such a democratic model, which including all the nations, just like the Kurds, Syrians, Arabs, living together peacefully. So this is the first thing. First example in the Middle East. So we would like to everybody to know this system, to know what it is, and to deal with it as a part of the Syrian opposition. It should be accepted. So this is the way we are trying to make relations with all these powers. The Russians, the Europeans, and even the United States, international coalition. So in these spaces we are dealing with them.
Sheikh Salih, how is now Afri situation? As every day the news, everybody here, Turkish government or Daesh, Turkish government and Daesh, for me the same actually, and Al-Qaeda or Al-Nusra, and this is every day have killed some women, kill some people, take it more than 5,000 people for money, He need money for freedom, the people, and every third year forced, and the very bad situation with Afrin. Now, how the diplomacy, how you have the diplomacy, any diplomacy, you take it Afrin is back with diplomacy, or you have to fighting for take it back?
Well, I think the diplomacy with Afrin is not the way to do it, because the Turkish government, the Turkish occupation, they don't care about anybody. They are doing what they like to do. I mean, now, of course, they have banned all these, the media elements, the journalists, and any organization, NGOs to go in. Just the NGOs they want from Turkish side, they go in. And they have collected all these mercenaries. I mean, the remains of Daesh, they are still in Afrin, and they brought Jabhat al-Nusra and the others, all these group mercenaries. They are Afrin and they are doing what they like. I mean, maybe cutting the trees and occupying the houses, and as you mentioned, they are kidnapping the people in order to get money against them. So they are doing what they like to do. Completely violating all the human rights and any rules. They don't know any rules and regulations and even ethical rules. They don't care about anything. They're just occupying and is banned from the others and doing what they like. So killing the civilians, everything is valid in Afrin. So this is the situation. Of course, for the liberation, now we have the Afrin resistance people, which they are locally resisting against this occupation. Of course, for us, I mean, we will try to liberate Afrin maybe in future when it's convenient. Should we liberate Afrin? And of course, the occupation is not accepted. I mean, everybody, even the Russians, the United Nations, and whatever, they are talking about the Syrian land freedom, Syrian sovereignty, and so it should be kept really. But how it's going to be done? Everybody is talking about withdrawing the Turkish forces, but we don't know maybe how it could be. There is a resistance from one side, the Afrin people, Afrin resistance forces and so. And also we are depending on the diplomacy and the political solution for Syria. Maybe they should be withdrawn, I mean, at the end. But when it's going to be, it's not clear yet. It depends on the discussions and the political situation and agreement. Because we know when the Turkish government or the Turkish regime, when they occupied Afrin, it was kind of consensus between all the sides. I mean, by the international coalition, they kept silent. And the Russians, they were there, they withdrew before the invasion of the Turkish army. So it means it was kind of consensus exchange, Ghouta with Afrin. I mean, it was, they had different accounts. And now all the people from Al-Ghouta, which was Jaish al-Islam, now they are placed in Afrin. And they are doing what they like. I mean, in the Kurdish inhabitants, they just thrown out of Afrin. And they are occupying their villages, their homes, staying there. How long it's going to take, we don't know really.
Yeah. Actually, I heard about every journalist, the Canada say talked about Kurdish woman fighter. Everybody say is great woman and great fighter, and actually great mother, great is mother. I see some picture and some video. Woman have the kid, but he's gone with behind him. He fighting. He don't have choice. How to make it? How you can explain the for people, Canadian people, Kurdish woman?
Along the history in the Middle East especially, I mean, in the Islamic states and countries, the woman was depressed. I mean, she didn't have freedom and so, which the Kurdish society is completely different from the other societies because they have more freedom. And now, according to what we are looking for, we are talking about the equality between the women and the man, the equality of the genders. So the women, she has a right what to do. And even, I mean, for the occupation and so, she has a right to defend her society. She has a right to defend herself. She has to organize herself. And this is what they have done. I mean, the women, they organize themselves. And even for protecting themselves, they have established the YPG, which is the Women Protecting Units. And they are side by side with men in the fighting against Daesh and so, because Daesh never recognized the women's rights. They were just ignoring the half of the society, and even the Islamic rules. They are ignoring the half of the society by ignoring the women. So this is the way. I mean, now the women in our areas, in our organization, she is free, and we have co-presidency system, co-chairing system with the women and men. So she is everywhere really, and even for the fighting. Actually, she was in the fighting from the beginning when our north of Syria, northeast of Syria, when it was attacked by those groups, the woman was side by side with the man, defending herself and defending her society. So that means that women, if she is free, she can defend herself and defend her society also. And that's and this is should be looked very normal. I mean, in all the views. I mean, everywhere should be accepted. I mean, woman is not less than the man to defend herself. So this is the way we are looking for. Yes, as you said, maybe really. I mean, we found very heroic women defending the rights and even fighting, and let me say maybe mostly, I mean, the Daesh members, they were afraid of the women fighters because they are very well fighters.
Everybody say Kurdish woman very well fighter, and Kurdish young people too. Thank you, Mr. Salih. So many Kurdish fathers, and also your son, the son died for humanity. How is your feeling? What you have to say to work to hear your voice?
Well, I think, I mean, if we are talking about the nation, the Kurdish nation and the Kurdish rights, so everybody should do something for those people, to have some sacrifices for them. So my children, also even myself, I mean, we are part of this society. We have to do something for our honor, for our people, to defend ourselves. And of course, I mean, just like all the people, the Kurdish people in the areas, in the Kobani and otherwise, my children also, they were in the fighting. It's a very ordinary thing, I mean, to have one of them martyred, which was Sharwan. He was 22 years old, and he was martyred in the fighting against those mercenaries. And of course, it's a big honor for me to be father of this martyr. But mainly, I mean, we have to follow our martyrs for their ideas, for their goals, what they were doing, what they are fighting for. So we have to continue them. I mean, their way to defend ourselves and defend our society. So this is ordinary thing. I mean, we consider all the Kurdish people, I mean, all those martyred young people of the Kurdish, they are just, all of them are my sons, my children, my child, I mean, just like them. So my child was one of those people, nothing more than that. And we are, of course, proud of our martyrs, not only because he's my son, but all the Kurdish young people who sacrificed themselves to protect the honor of the Kurdish people.
Sheikh Salih, and now how many Kurdish soldiers died this war, and how many civilians died? Do you have any global record?
The numbers I cannot say, but the number which was declared by them in this fighting against Daesh, they were talking about the 11,000 martyrs, but only if you're fighting against Daesh. But then we have some more. We are talking about more than 25,000 injured people also. But they are not only the Kurdish people. They are Kurdish, Arab, Syrians all together. I mean, we are talking about Democratic Syrian Forces, which including the Arabs, the Kurdish, the others too. But of course, I mean, because our fight against Daesh at the beginning was with the Kurdish people, maybe the huge number of those 11,000, 12,000 people who were sacrificed and martyred during this fighting, most of them maybe they were from the Kurdish people. So this is the ordinary thing we should consider, yes.
I have another question, Mr. Salih, and there is, you have, Kurdistan have Assyrian, Armenian, Jewish, many different nationality, and with Europe some soldiers coming fighting with about Kurdish people. But my question is you say every Rojava, and doesn't matter for you with Kurd, Turk, Arab, Assyrian, Armenian, you don't look about religion or about color, about language. You saving every people. And this is Europe know that one, and Russia know, United States know. How to say about this situation? Why doesn't help his people or his religion? What can you say about that one?
Yeah, we are talking about the moderate, I mean those people. Now for the Syrians, for the Arabs, for the Turkmens, which we are living together in this area, maybe we are living here for centuries together, I mean with the Arabs, with the Turkmens, with the Syrians, maybe for thousands of years. I mean, all Mesopotamia is including the Syrians and the Armenians, the Kurdish people, the Arabs. So along the history, all these people, they were living together. So if anybody of them, I mean anybody in the Syrian nation or from the Arabs, if they have a right to defend themselves and their beings, so they have a right to do it. The most important thing, we should do it together because our faith is tied to each other. If we are not free, I mean the Kurdish people are not free, maybe although the Arabs could not be free, and also for the Syrians. So our freedom is the problem, all of us, against the despotic systems, against the dictatorship, against the fascism, just what we are saying in Turkey. So we have to defend ourselves against them. And by doing this, we are maybe sometimes we are doing by the, let's say, I mean everybody who's dreaming to be, to be just like that, to be free and to be equality, and so in this case, everybody likes this freedom and ethical measurement which we are doing it. So because of that, maybe some other nations are joining our forces to defend, to be with the Kurdish people, because everybody likes the equality, the freedom, and even this, those maybe measurement we are defending. So because of that, we have support of most of the people in the world. They are beside the Kurdish people because they are defending their honor, and even they are defending the honor of the humanity against this terrorism, because this terrorism and what is happening is not only the danger for the Kurdish people, but also they are a threat for everybody, even for Europe, you see. So this is the way we are trying to do.
Salih, now is how about diplomacy? Have any diplomacy with Syria regime, or Syria? You think is Syria regime is have to change or not? How about you think about that situation?
Well, one of our duties and our problem really in the Middle East to change the mentalities, because if nobody believes in the living together and the common life with other nations to be together, so you have to persuade them that this is the best way to do it. Our mentality in the Middle East are very different. Especially for those maybe the parts which they are controlling. They are controlling the countries and governing the countries. And till now, the Syrian regime, they didn't change their mentality. They are still believe that they can control Syria and keep all this Syria all together with everything. It was just like the measurement before 2011, which is not accepted at all. So this is the way we are trying to change the mentality of this the Syrian regime too. So this is the way we are dealing with them. Until now, there were many, there was many contacts with the regime, trying to see them, to find a solution with them, but it wasn't accepted by them. At the end, just a few days ago, our team, which was dealing with them from the self-administration, they said, well, it's not the time for solving the problem with you. So it was postponed. We don't know what they are going to do. But of course, we hope that Russian, maybe they can help or to persuade the regime to sit with us with political solution. But till now, our efforts is not getting any results till today.
The Russian, actually everybody say is Syria Russian. What he said, Syria regime is got it this way, but it's the same Russia they have with Turkish situation, work with Turkish, work to Iran, and the same the Turkey fighting with Syria and or show like this actually about Kurds fighting with Syria. If now say Russia or United States said okay, Turkish government can make it genocide, I believe. But now Russian, you think Russian can change to Syria regime about Kurdish situation?
If they want really to do it, if they are sincere to do it, they can do it. But of course, you don't know. The Russians, they have also their interests and their benefits with the Turkish government also, which Turkish government is refusing any consensus about the Kurdish people, the Kurdish rights. They don't want any democratic rights for the Kurdish. Even if we are going to have any solution with the Syrian regime, it's refused by the Turkish government. So this is the way. So I think maybe the Russians also trying to enforce, the Syrian regime to do something which satisfy the Turkish government too. So we don't know really the actual thing what they can do. But mostly, let me say, we are not depending on these forces and the balance between them. We are trying to get benefit from this confusion between them, but also the most important thing, we are depending on ourselves and the Kurdish people, organizing the Kurdish people. We have, our defense system, which we can defend ourselves. So we are defending on our people more than to defend on the others. And so this is our preference, to depend on our people and our rights and try to persuade the others and to work to get benefit from the conflict if there is any conflict between the other parts. So this is the way we are dealing with it.
Salih, and how in the future plan about of diplomacy, what who believe freedom and peace and in the world. Anybody with word, any government or the belief and the peace and the word about Rojava, about Libya or Middle East.
Well, actually, we are not expecting a solution in near future. In the horizon, we cannot find any the real efforts towards this political solution in Syria. But everybody trying to get the benefit from them. Maybe they are still fighting. Nobody believes that the political solution is in their benefit till they make some changes on the ground by military. For example, in Idlib still there are big conflicts between the mercenaries and also the regime and the Turkish side and even maybe the international coalition also, they are taking care about that. If you don't solve this conflict in Idlib, you cannot solve the problem in Syria. For our side also, still we have, if we don't have a sincere effort by the by the Syrian regime and maybe at least for the Turkish occupation is a problem really. If they don't find solution for the Turkish occupation to go out and so on, you cannot talk about the peaceful solution. So this is the problem. All the conflict is still over there, and we don't see any sincere efforts from those, especially the governing powers. Even from all the sides, sincere efforts to reach to the political solution for Syria now. And because of that, maybe the Geneva talks have stopped. Nobody is talking about that. They are not talking about even the resolution 2254, for the United Nations. Nobody is talking about. We don't know it's going to resume again. Maybe after 1 year, 6 months, nobody is talking about it. It means the efforts for the peaceful solution or political solution is stopped now. We don't know what they are thinking and what to do in near future. Or what can I say? There is no political solution in the horizon at this moment.
Salih, last question about your diplomacy. How is going your diplomacy? You think Kurdish people enough work about diplomacy or not?
Well, no. Our diplomacy is not satisfied. It's not because of ours. We are, doing a lot of efforts to contact everybody, and our doors are open, and we are ready to have a diplomacy and contact with everybody to talk to them, to express our, views and our solution, our proposals. But the problem is now most of them are closing the doors for us, and mostly because they are just because of the relations with Turkey. So the diplomacy is obstacled by Turkish efforts and some others which they are supporting the Turkish efforts. So this is the big problem for us, especially the diplomacy with the European countries and the others. So it's a big problem for us. We have a lot of difficulties.
Sheikh Salih, now I have this is actually not a question, but I like learning about university and Rojava, or about school, about middle school. I think you need more teachers for school. You need for hospital. You need more doctors. About that one, what you can say about how the people, if like come Rojava, any teacher or any doctor, any people, how they make it contact, how they can come, because you know Turkish government, you can go to Turkey and come Rojava. Have any road or
well, actually we are under blockade from all the sides. I mean, from the Syrian regime and also from Turkey and the borders. We have difficulties. I mean, what we have, especially, I mean, the education system, including the universities, we have some institutions, I mean, established. We have a kind of university, maybe in Kamishlo, we have also in Kobani. We are trying to depend on our resources, I mean, for that. And of course, any efforts from outside, especially for Kurdish people, which they have, I mean, they are in diaspora, living over there, and they can be helpful about this one, because we know a lot of academics, the Kurdish academics, they are teaching everywhere, so they can come and see and even give us some proposal to show us how to do it, how to get benefit from their experience. So I think they can do it, and we have representation of, I mean, our administration in many places, in Paris, in Brussels, in Berlin, and even in the United States. So they can contact them, our representation of the administration, northeast of Syria, and ask them how to can be helpful, I mean, for our people. We are welcoming everybody if they want to get, I mean, to help us to do something better than we are doing. We know we are short of that, but our resources are not enough to do what we have in mind to do. So this is our problem, really.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Salih. Today is a great day. Thank you so much for your interview. Thank you so much for every Rojava worker, fighter, and thank you for father and mom and Rojava.
Okay, thank you very much for you too to give us this opportunity to address your people and your viewers. Thank you very much.
I've worked in construction for 40 years. I am, and always will be, LiUNA.
Construction is one of the most stable industries in today's economy. There's plenty of opportunity, so come and learn at the LiUNA Local 183 Training Center. It's the right place to start. If you're thinking about your future, you can learn a skilled trade through hands-on training and classroom training. LiUNA Local 183 Training Center is excellence in training. All apprenticeship programs are registered with the Ontario Ministry of Training Colleges and Universities. Become an apprentice and learn new skills which will open the doors to a rewarding career. Visit 183training.com.
have just started my training, and I am Liuna.
Troya is a Canadian manufacturer of PVC windows and doors. Troya cares about customer satisfaction in Canada standards. Troya has been established on principles of honesty and integrity. Our sales office, manufacturing facility, and showroom are located in Woodbridge, Ontario. We have a friendly and over 15 years of international experienced staff. We are a quality-focused, customer-centered establishment and strive to always improve our work. We have quality workmanship, superior knowledge, and competitive prices. We produce elegant, cozy, solid Canadian design system of windows and doors that will keep you and your family safe and comfortable in every weather condition. Our products help your home to become more environment friendly and energy efficient. Our installations are carried out by a fully trained staff to the highest professional standards. Our professional services are a real focus on customer satisfaction. Your satisfaction is our biggest asset. Troya Windows and Doors. TroyaWindows.com, 905-856-9493.